everybody, I'm back and we're going to do a cheesecloth ghost today. You're going to need like a mold, I guess, or a model to be able to, like an armature to mold your ghost over. You're going to need cheesecloth. I have it sitting in a pan on wax paper just solely because it's pretty wet and messy, that it'll collect in the pan and then I won't have to worry about the cleanup so much. You'll need some liquid starch, which I have in a bowl right here. It's just plain starch. Cheesecloth, like I said before. I have a plastic water bottle. And what I have done with it is I have taken a barbecue skewer, just a wooden skewer, stuck it in there. That's to give it a little stability in the bottle. And then I took a wire hanger and I snipped the ends off, and then I straightened out the curved part, the hook part. Here I have one. I snipped it about here on each side, and then bent it to create the arms, and then I straightened out these parts too, and then the hook part I just straightened and I shoved that up into the styrofoam ball right next to the wooden skewer, and then I snipped off the end of that as well. So get rid of that. So you put that in the bottle, and this is what's going to give you your ghostly shape. There we go. So these are the arms and stuff like that. Now I'm going to turn it, here I'll turn it this way so that you can kind of see it as I'm going to be doing it. And I have cut the cheesecloths into very long lengths. I had it draped over just to make sure that that would be long enough, because I wanted it to go into, you know, where the arms are and stuff like that, and be able to dangle a little bit on the ends. So I have about, I would say, 6 or 7 pieces, and they're nice and long. And the only other thing I'm going to do before we get started is, because I'm not sure how the starch will be taking it off of the styrofoam, so I have a piece of tin foil. I'm going to just wrap that around the head so the starch should release that with no problem whatsoever. So we have the shape of our ghost, and we can get started. Okay, it does tend to shrink up a little bit. See, it kind of gathers together right away. So I'm kind of going to try to do it in sections. I'll have to start to separate it at some point. So I'm going to just kind of drape it over here already, only because it is coming together quite a bit, and I don't want to have it come together to where I can't get it apart again. And in the event that it does get so bad, you know what I'm going to do, because it's kind of poking through a little too much. I'm going to take some tin foil and kind of bunch it around each of his hands. You know, kind of make a ball. There we go. Alright. And then I'll try to drape it over again. I don't want it too pointy. Oops. So it's going to just take some time working it to kind of get it draped all around. And I'm just going to kind of drip some of this on here. Okay, so as I'm getting into it, I'm thinking a brush might be a better way to work it. So it's still gonna, whoops, it's still gonna kind of gather together, and I'm totally okay with that. but it gives me a little bit more control as I'm doing it, so I can at least get the fabric placed properly. So it's kind of a process more than anything else, and I'll kind of go back and forth between using the brush and using just my hands, and if I think like the pieces are too long, I can always trim them as well. Because I did measure them to drape across this way, and obviously when it's coming this way, it's going to be shorter and, you know, less fabric will be needed. So I can trim that and just use that to patch in certain areas as well. Okay, I've been putting the strips of the cheesecloth on there, and it doesn't quite look full enough, obviously. So I still had a large piece left, even after the strips. And I'm going to drape the whole thing over there to kind of give it the fuller look over the arms and stuff like that. So it's not so bare there. So, okay. I'm going to drape the whole thing over. And kind of give it a little bit of a ruffled look, I think. I hope. And when I put the starch on it, which I'm going to do with the paintbrush, it's going to give it a little bit, it'll obviously shrink up again. I'll just start brushing it on, and it'll start to lay flat. Excuse me. And I'll work it everywhere because I want it all to be stiff. So just kind of gently brush it on. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to leave it to hang overnight, or to sit here overnight and dry. So it'll be nice and stiff, and then tomorrow morning, after it's dried, we will unmold it and we'll see how it turned out and see if it was a success or a failure. Hey everyone, I am back to unmold the ghosts that we were working on, and I'm going to tell you a couple things. The starch took a lot longer to dry than I expected, so it took about like a day and a half. Now what I realized was I could have taken a paper towel and like dabbed the bottom, because it all pulled on the bottom, and I could have dabbed the bottom and stuff like that, and it would have been completely fine and it would have dried a lot quicker. So I did do that like the next morning because it wasn't dry, and I did it a couple times after that. But the wax paper got pretty wet, and I'm sure that some of the starch leaked underneath the wax paper and between the pan, and that's why it's kind of sticking. So I'm just going to loosen that up as I remove it, and then I'll take it off of, because I don't want to tug too hard on the ghost. So we'll loosen the paper. Okay, put this aside. Then we're just going to, let me see if I can get this in a bigger position. Carefully peel the wax paper off. You may have to clean up a spot or two, but it peels off easy enough. I think it just was so thick down there that that's probably why it's not peeling as easily as it would have otherwise. But, you know, little tugging here and there comes off. It just is kind of breaking in some pieces. It was probably weakened while it was wet. So to carefully do that, alright, I'm going to pull the bottle out, and that came out. Now we're going to, here's the skewer. Now we're going to ease out the, if you remember the arms, we have, get that out of the way, the wires in here. So long as it didn't wrap itself around, we're good. It seems to be mildly attached to the wire, so I'm just going to kind of work it carefully coming out. Just need to work it very carefully, and then probably if you squished the aluminum balls into more flat balls instead of the way I had it, that might work a little bit better as well. Alright, now what I'm going to do is snip this so that I can manipulate the other side a little bit better. So I've got my wire cutters, and I'm going to snip this wire to get it out of my way, because every time I tug on it, it affects the other side. So here we go. We have this side. It does have a little give to it, so if you're pulling and yanking a little bit, it shouldn't do any major damage, but there we go. Here it is. So far we have that. We've got to get the styrofoam and aluminum foil out of the top. I would hope that this would be a little bit easier. Yep, pulled right out. So here it is. Okay, so I did decide to do eyes. I cut just out of regular felt a couple of ovals, and I'm just going to do, so before I stop the video, I wanted to kind of throw that on there and show you. It's just the regular felt. It could just be plain white glue, whatever, so long as it doesn't, you want it to dry clear is really your only concern on that. You know, you want to get it to the edge as close as you can. Some of it will squish. Put it where you think it should go. Grab the other one. And there you have your ghost. You let it dry. Good to go. It's a good indoor decoration. This would not withstand, obviously, being outdoor, especially in the weather if it's wet and stuff like that, and it would blow away very easily. So, hope you like it. Give it a try. We'll see you next time.